first edition of the Jungle News. I'm Lily Keller.
And I'm Sailor Levan. The West Liberty-Salem student body attended an assembly with guest speaker Deborah Orr of Mary Rutan Hospital on Monday, November 11th and Friday, November 15th in the main gym. Deborah contacted Mr. Johnson to set up the assembly so she could educate our school about the dangers of vaping.
A student from Saugus High School in Santa Clarita, California, opened fire on school grounds. The gunfire killed 2 classmates and injured 3. The 16-year-old gunman died in the hospital the next day due to self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Fall sports at West Liberty-Salem were extremely successful this season. Both of our cross-country teams made it to state yet again, and our football team had a tremendous postseason run. Here's Macy, Sierra, and Bexley with the stories.
The Tiger football team of 2019 went 11-2, and the cheerleaders were there to get the crowd excited for the historic run. The football team hadn't been to playoffs in 3 years. The varsity football team included 15 seniors. The school hosted the first playoff game. Then the Tigers went on to play all the way to round 3, which made them runner-up regional champions. Senior and quarterback Trevor Woodruff accomplished many goals this year, such as throwing a total of 2,000 yards throughout the season.
I'd say our biggest accomplishment was definitely winning the OHC, and my personal biggest accomplishment was probably throwing for 2,000 yards because that was a goal I set at the beginning of the season.
The team had 2 big wins over Mechanicsburg and West Jefferson. West Jefferson was ranked number 2 in our division when the Tigers beat them. The Tigers beat Mechanicsburg for the first time since 2014. For Trenton Douthwaite, it was a successful season.
All right, so the season went pretty well. We went 9-1. We had a 1 loss to Fairbanks, but we ended up beating West Jefferson, and those are the games that ended up really mattering.
The cheerleading squad competed in the OHC cheer competition this year. The competition was hosted at the school on November 2nd. The girls were judged on 3 categories for the event: dance, the fight song, and tumbling. 11 squads competed, and the Tigers placed 3rd overall. According to Kaylee Levan, extended practices each night held at Crown Gymnastics throughout the football season helped the squad.
The squad mainly learned how to work as a team this year through OHC practices because it was something new that we were trying and none of us were really experienced in it, and we had different skill levels throughout the team as well, so it was working through the frustration and learning how to compromise with each other.
Overall, the Tigers had a successful and historic season. This has been Bexley Harrigan reporting for the Jungle News.
The 2019 soccer and golf seasons ended in success. The girls' soccer team ended their season with a 9-6-3 record. They played 7 state-ranked teams and were hopeful for an OHC title and to make it to the district finals. Senior Rachel Davis thought this year was one to remember.
Playing at Cruz Stadium was an awesome experience, and it was probably a first for all the girls, so it was just really cool.
The boys' soccer team ended as district runners-up with the second most wins in school history. They ended 16-3-1 and ended up beating Dayton Christian, who were the state runners-up last year. Mr. Wolf felt his seniors were a great contribution.
They had been in the program, most of them for all 4 years, but they knew what we wanted to do, and they were able to help the younger players get acclimated and basically understand how we play soccer here.
The boys' golf team felt they had many tough matches this year. 3 out of the 4 members were seniors, and the boys ended their season overall 5-11. Mr. Storms thought his boys performed well against tough teams.
Some of our toughest matches, definitely Fairbanks. They were unbelievably good, and they always crushed us. And those are heartbreaking whenever you go and just get demolished. But that was probably our toughest opponent, was Fairbanks.
Overall, the soccer and golf teams had a great season. This has been Macy Miller reporting for the Jungle News.
The girls volleyball team, girls cross country, and boys cross country had a very successful season. The girls volleyball team had an overall record of 19-6 and a conference record of 13-3. Girls cross country went to state for the 4th year in a row and took 2nd place. Boys cross country won OHC and were district runner-ups. They also qualified for regional runner-up in the Division II. Their meet record was 10-2 and had a season record of 158-8. WLS made the program's 18th state appearance and the first as a member of Division II. Senior Kate Clarico describes how player leadership contributes to their success.
A good leader can elevate all of his teammates and really make the whole team better. So just by being a strong individual and really showing the guys how it's done, you can elevate the whole team.
The girls cross country won 3 of their biggest meets, the Bob Scholl, Galleon, and Jim Murray Invitational. Senior Lydia Mail describes the team's biggest obstacles this year.
Losing our number 1 runner for most of the season, Megan Adams broke her foot, and that really set us back, but she was able to come back for the district meet, so that was good.
After a successful season, the volleyball team lost in the first round of postseason tournaments. Miami East won in the first 3 sets. Cindy Pear describes what she'll miss most about volleyball.
And just having like a sisterhood of like friends that you can just like be with every day and just like laugh with and share all kinds of memories with, so I'm really going to miss that.
The girls winning second in state was a huge accomplishment following their great season in track. This has been Sierra Brown reporting for the Jungle News.
Has this ever happened to you?
Do you ever get annoyed by slow people in the hallway? Well, I do. I've got the product for you. You need the Bulldozer Buddy.
Side effects may include lice, hair loss, blindness, and no friends.
Iranian government officials have officially pulled the plug on internet. As of November 15th, Iran has been offline as an attempt by the government to stop the flow of information. The citizens had a nationwide anti-government protest, but since the blackout, it's been harder for people to organize and communicate.
FFA had their annual lock-in on November 26. About 50 to 60 students attended this overnight school event held here at West Liberty-Salem. The annual event is for team building and bonding.
The band and auxiliary really popped off this year with their Elvis theme and put on great performances even outside of the Friday night halftime shows. Here's Xavier with the details.
The high school band and auxiliary went to the playoffs with the football team to perform in front of the masses through the leadership of Mr. Fannin and the others who helped drive the team to success. Working as a band director for 14 years, Mr. Fannin leads nearly 65 high school students and around 200 students each day. Mr. Fannin finds their greatest success at the festivals that the band performs at.
I think we had 2 very strong performances at the Bell Fountain Band Spectacular and the Graham Band Festival.
Victoria Wilson, a senior who has been in flags for 4 years, enjoys the friends that she has made along the way and the supervisor, Rebecca Roach. Victoria finds the gap between freshman and senior to be the greatest challenge of the flags.
If we didn't have so many seniors and so many freshmen, and there's more wide range throughout the classes.
Ashley Spencer is a field commander and section leader for this year's band. She leads the band both on and off the field. As a leader, she realizes there are some difficulties for the more active members of band.
Probably learning and getting things down in time, and then also schedules. Band normally comes pretty last to a lot of things, but we end up working it out sometimes.
The band and auxiliary's next biggest event is their trip to Florida to go to Disneyland. They will be representing the whole school in this festival. This is Xavier Ronneberg with the Jungle News.
天上太阳红呀红彤彤哎，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎，他领导我们的解放哎，人类翻身当家做主人，咿呀咿自由呀呀自由啊，人类翻身当家做主人。
The West Liberty-Salem Rocks girls participated in a self-defense training to help defend themselves in necessary situations on Tuesday, November 19th in the school's elementary cafeteria. The demonstration was led by Miss Haney and consists of freshman and sophomore girls looking to improve their self-confidence.
Hey Sailor, did you go to homecoming?
Yeah, the DJ was so much better this year.
I know. I hope he comes back for prom. Here's Ethan with the groovy details.
This year, WLS's homecoming took place the weekend of October 3rd through the 5th. The homecoming parade was on Thursday, the pep rally and football game on Friday, and the dance was on Saturday. The annual homecoming dance was put on by the senior class and members of student council. Putting on the dance took a lot of effort, and student council member Zach Glock was happy with how it turned out.
There's a lot of preparation that went into it, a lot of talks with Mrs. Seymour and the other class officers, student council members, and we put a lot of time into it, stringing up the lights, all the decorations and stuff, and overall I think it was a pretty big success.
The attendants for this year's homecoming were freshman Allie Bolden, escorted by Christian Davis, sophomore Allie Gaber, escorted by Clayton Fissel, and junior Kiara Pata, escorted by Drew Hardwick. The king and queen candidates were Eli McGill and Grace Adams, Matthew Laughlin and Bexley Harrigan, Trent Barry and Savannah Weaver, Trenton Douthwaite and Lydia Mayo, and Trevor Woodruff and Victoria Wilson. Trenton Douthwaite and Savannah Weaver were crowned king and queen before the game. Savannah enjoyed the experience of winning queen.
I was definitely shocked at first, but of course I was super happy, and it was really cool to know that my classmates and my friends think highly of me.
The weekend concluded with over 300 students that danced to throwbacks such as Baby by Justin Bieber and Dynamite by Teo Cruz. Rachel Davis enjoyed different aspects of the dance.
I think the music was a lot better than previous years because I know like my freshman year it was kind of a weird music choice, but this year was a lot better.
This year's homecoming dance was an overall success as students enjoyed the music and decorations. This has been Ethan Larson reporting for the Jungle News.
Probably be Mr. McGill, the principal, because he's sneaky.
Definitely thinking Mr. Clapp. He's a quiet guy, doesn't say much, lurks around.
Mr. Lewis, possibly?
Maybe. I do see that happening also. I hear he has people locked in his basement.
I think Mr. Wolf because he's pretty fluent in Russian, so...
I think Mr. Spencer, because he's pretty average.
It's hands down Mr. Cottrell, because he has no hair, and like when he gets mad he just stares at you, and it gets really creepy.
I think Mr. McGill would be the spy because he doesn't really smile a lot, and I feel like spies don't smile a lot.
I personally think it's Mr. Rich Johnson. You know, he's pretty tech savvy, and he came from New York, so who knows his real background.
Mr. Wolf, because he knows Russian.
And because he looks Russian.
Probably Mr. Wolf. I mean, you look at the man, he looks Russian, he knows Russian, he's pretty secretive about his college life.
I can believe Mr. Lewis too, because he always be wearing Hawaiian shirts, and it's not cutting it. I mean, that looks like he's a spy, so.
After spending over 4 years in Logan County Jail, Brittany Pilkington of Bellefontaine, Ohio, accepted a plea and pled guilty to killing her 3 sons, Niall, Gavin, and Noah. They were killed between July of 2014 and August of 2015.
Show Choir had their holiday performances on November 15th and November 16th. The 24 members performed with new choreography created by alumnus McKenna Floyd. The theme for this year was Hooked on a Feeling, and they performed songs such as Heartbeat, Superstition, and Don't Stop Me Now.
The Drama Club did incredibly well this year with a series of one-act plays. Here's Morgan to tell you about the show.
On November 7th and 8th, the WLS Drama Club performed their annual fall play. This year's play was titled A Night of One Acts and consisted of 3 comedies called Accused of Comedy, Houston, We Have a Problem, and All the Bases. Savannah Weaver, who played the lead role in last year's musical, believes drama is very different than musical.
Especially since it's a comedy, you have to have really good comedic timing. So you just really got to know your lines because you don't have singing and dancing to make up for it. So you got to be really entertaining and be a really good actress or actor when you do it.
Senior Angeline Allison, who has been in drama since her freshman year, understands that mistakes happen, but believes the group has good chemistry with the audience to make up for it.
It's really exciting once the audience really gets into it and they start laughing with you and they're not uncomfortable, but they're enjoying the show.
With 7 seniors leaving, sophomore Micah Stoner thinks the underclassmen will struggle without the guidance of the seniors in years to come.
The seniors have been in drama longer than we have, and most of the sophomores and freshmen have not done it hardly at all.
This year's play really encouraged students to step out of their comfort zones, as they had to take on 2 to 3 different roles. While they didn't have sold-out shows, they had an amazing turnout and earned a lot of laughs and positive feedback from the audience. More than 20 students worked together to make sure this played out the way it was planned. This has been Morgan Fissel reporting for the Jungle News.
Thank you for tuning into another edition of the Jungle News. I'm Sailor.
And I'm Lily.
Is this your hoe?
Not my hoe.
Somebody come get they hoe.
And I'm Lily. I thought you were saying, is this your home?
No, you were going to say that because you caught it. And I'm Sailor Levan. I hate my name.
Hey, Sailor, did you go to prom?
Y'all said the F word.
I said pho.
Okay.
Like the noodle soup.
You ready?
Action. Hey, Sailor, did you go to homecoming this year? Hey, Sailor, did you go to homecoming? Action. Hi. Oh. Hi.
I know you saw that. Oh my God. Okay.
I'm peeing my pants.